Yeah, I thought, what the hell? Let's just talk about um my history with the Tekken series. So I basically played this game first, Tekken 4, on a PS2 kiosk, and I said to a person, "Oh, I gotta get this game for Christmas," basically. Even though I only pressed like the circle button, but I was like, "Oh, I gotta get this game for Christmas." Um, and I got it before Christmas, I think. Um, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, basically I always played this game after school. So I came home from school and I always played this game. So basically, and there was another guy at school that knew what Tekken was. This is like elementary school. So he knew what it was. So I always talked with I always talked about Tekken with him. Like, oh, let's talk about Tekken. Um, that was really fun. But I always came home from school and played this game. Um, and then somebody played Tekken, let's say, this game, and then they broke the PS2 because they lost against the character. They lost against the character, so they broke the PS2. Um, so then I went to another. I went to a classmate's house and played Tekken a little bit um, at his house because I didn't have a PS2 that was working. Um, so then he was basically, and then the friend at school, not the classmate, he was like, "Oh, this new game is out. Like, oh, Tekken 5 is out now." He told me, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" So that's out now. Um, so I remember that, but I couldn't play it because I didn't have a PS2. I was working, so that was kind of like fuck. Um, and I don't know if he had it or whatever already. He probably didn't because yeah, this was probably he talked about. He said that when I probably had got a PS2, I was working again, and he one time came to visit, I think, and I wanted to play Tekken 4, and he I think had already had Tekken 5 or something. Uh, I can't really remember because well, I don't really remember, but I remember him visiting once with a fat PS2, and he already had like the game or whatever. So he was like, "Oh, Tekken 5 is out," and yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember basically getting this game. This is my original game from like then. Um, so I remember getting this game and getting all the characters in 2 days. So I remember playing this game because it was really like, oh shit, this is crazy. It's a new version. So yeah, I remember beating it in like 2 days. And once I think I played 300 matches because there's a mode that you can kind of play like endlessly, and you can play like how many matches you want in a row. So I played like 300 matches or something once when we were at vacation on like a small TV. Because back then there existed small TVs, so really small TVs. So I played like 300 matches in a row. Yeah, this game, and yeah, like I played this game. Yeah, I beat this game in like 2 days, basically. So, and it has one of the best intros. That's that pretty much of any game almost. Yeah. So then, um, I played other games basically after that. I played like whatever. I played another. Then I think played I played a Sly 3 and I played basically Star Wars games. So and then I think probably when PS3 was out, the friend at an elementary school, I think he said someone. I think he actually told me that someone um, imported something. I don't know what exactly. I think he said like, "Oh, my big brother, if my bigger brother, he imported something. So he imported a PS3 with Tekken Dark Resurrection." So I think this. Oh, I saw the PS3 version of this game. Um, basically. So I remember it's. I might have seen PS3 before that, but yeah, it was like, oh, now I see PS3 on LCD, and with this game basically on PS3. Um, so that was kind of crazy. Um, and then, when I got PS3, I got the online version of this. But I think after I got the online version of this on PS3 or before, I kind of wanted to collect all the other games. So I got these other. So I got all the other games basically. So I got all the other games. Um, so I got all the other games. And this doesn't have a manual. This first one. Second one, I bought at GameStop. The elementary school friend had a game called Soul Blade, and when I first bought this version, I bought like a double pack. This I actually bought at GameStop. And I was surprised at the condition the game was in, because it was in very good condition. Um, and Tekken 3 naturally. I didn't buy this at GameStop. Or Tekken 1. I always played the games on PS1 for some reason. I always wanted to play them original. And these games had differences. So if you don't know, um, there's always been differences between the arcade versions and console versions. So basically, sometimes at school, I think even I got to I had a laptop, so sometimes I could play games at the recess or when there was free time, so I could basically play. So sometimes I would oh, let's play the arcade version of um, I don't know, Tekken 2. Cause then they had version A and they had version B. So basically, version B gave you more characters on the arcade version. So first they had version A with less characters. So then they had version B. So you figure, oh, there's a difference. So then version B became the console version. But the console version also had different music. So you figure out all these little differences. Um, so Tekken 3, I think, was basically the same thing. Where they first had um, version A, and then they had version B or something, or version C, like with more characters. So you figure out these differences. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Um, and they had different music. Even Tekken 4 has a little bit of different music than the arcade version. Um, so does that game. But basically, I collected all these different versions, um, and then I got that on PS3. So I played this online on PS3. But then I kind of stopped playing. Then I kind of stopped playing Tekken or something because then I played. Then I found Street Fighter basically. Then I found Street Fighter. Yeah, this when this came out, this is actually they did this game, right? So this game, yeah, I remember the original trailer. Yeah, now so in this game, so I basically stopped playing Tekken. I only played Street Fighter. So besides trying out the Tekken arcade version sometimes, but so I kind of stopped playing Tekken. So, but then, um, yeah, but then, um, somehow I found out that you know, Tekken 7 was out in arcade. So, like, I don't remember how I found that out. Oh, it's out in arcade now. Even though arcades in Europe are kind of dead, but you figure it out. So, it's like, oh, it's out in arcade now. Um, so I remember that, and I was like, let's play Tekken again, or whatever. No, I want to play this game again. Um, so basically, um, I was like, oh, what joystick and buttons are on the original cabinets or whatever. So I figured out. So basically, I bought like an old, I bought like an old joystick version. I bought like an old joystick version. Uh, I walked and bought like an old joystick. So I remember walking. I literally walked and bought like the yellow joystick right there. And then she actually said like good luck. So I think she must have seen what that was, and she actually said, "Oh, good luck." So I remember buying that and playing Tekken because I knew Tekken 7 was gonna come out, I guess. And I remember, yeah, I did that, so that was fun. Um, Tekken DR basically with that joystick. So and then of course, they had an updated version before Tekken 7 came out. But before Tekken 7 came out on console. So Tekken 7 uh, FR basically, which actually I think had worse graphics than the original on arcade for some weird reason. But that's and then Tekken 7 basically. But even back when I first played this online, I knew how to play it. I kind of knew how to play, kind of, but not completely. So But when I played before Tekken 7 came out, I kind of already knew how to play, sort of. So, but I always wondered what it would be like, to play it on arcade though, to play it on an arcade machine, because that in the strongest Tekken countries they used to be really strong. So you'd play these versions. You'd hear, oh, the strongest players always played on arcade version. So basically, um, I think this version might be the first version to have online too. Online versus an arcade, maybe. So, but I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of, yeah, basically. So that's, and then you hear, oh, Tekken 8 wasn't gonna have an arcade version, or doesn't have an arcade. It doesn't affect Europe because we don't really have arcade machines anymore. But if it's tradition, it kind of sucks that it doesn't. They're not gonna make, but the versions used to have big differences though. They used to have difference in music versus console. Like they used to have difference in music on the Tekken games on arcade and console, but now they don't. I think Tekken 7 might have even had some differences in music, but yeah, I don't know. Um, well, there's not much else to say though about it. So, but yeah, I played. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with the game though. But it's hard. That's why not a lot of people play it. It's sold millions of copies. But the reason why like more people play, I don't know, Fortnite or whatever, is because it's an easier game, right? Because Tekken is, well, it's not super easy either, but it's hard to play. It's hard to play Tekken, so that's I guess that's what I'll end.